Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Boy, oh boy, do I have the video for you. A video for... I don't know where I was trying to go with that. It's going to be a banger today, guys. Oh, look at this backpack. Full of knives. Oh, weighs an absolute ton. We got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys today, so let's go ahead and get to it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're getting fancy today, guys. Y'all want to see something cool? Remember this? This is that little Humvee K-Bar neck knife I reviewed a while back that I said was the worst knife I have ever showed on the channel. Well, guess what? I found a use for it, okay? I found a use for this knife. I've been using it behind the scenes. Let me show you what I've been using it for. All right, so this little piece of crap here is my tripod that I film all my videos on, and it is broken. This little thing here, which is supposed to, you know, adjust this, allow you to adjust this telescoping arm to sit at different levels, doesn't work anymore. This is broken. It just doesn't work. But if I wedge something in there, hold up, I'm gonna film this with my knees. Man, guys, we are so professional on this channel. We're inventing videography techniques that no one could have possibly imagined. But look at that. Look at that. We found a use for that little knife. I'm gonna have to get a new tripod eventually. I've gone through so many of these little things. Maybe it's time I bought an actual tripod instead of these cheap little $20 ones. Nah. Alrighty, guys, so what are we talking about today? Well, today's video was requested by someone very special to the channel, Zachary Schmidt. And Zach is someone that I've known for, I guess, about a year at this point, and he has become a huge supporter of the channel. Not only is he a channel member, but he also has sent a ton of knives to the channel over the past year. Like, I don't even want to think about how much, like the monetary value of the knives that he sent to the channel. I don't even want to think about how much that adds up to, but he has been a huge help, helping me to keep content coming, exposing me to new things I never would have tried otherwise. And his birthday was this week. And well, the week that you're seeing the video, not the week that I'm filming it, but he reached out to me a little bit ago. He's like, hey man, my birthday's coming up, and I would really like to see a video about your favorite knives that I've sent you. Could you do that? And I, without hesitation, said, yeah, of course. Anything, dude. I mean, after what all you've done for the channel, it's the least I can do. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to be going over my favorite knives that Zach has ever sent me. And this was a gargantuan task, right? Narrowing this down was so hard. He has sent me a lot of knives. In fact, recently I was going to try and take a picture of all the knives that Zach has sent to the channel. And I was thinking about maybe using that for the thumbnail, but I realized that I just couldn't fit them all into a picture. If I like put them all out on a table or on the ground, is what I ended up having to do, is put them all on the ground, then I'd have to like get on top of a ladder, and you know, it just wasn't working out in my little apartment. I'd have to go to, like, I don't know, someone else got a, you know, bigger room so I can get way up high and take the picture. He sent some incredible knives, and narrowing down my favorites was so hard because he has not only sent a lot of knives to the channel, but he has sent some absolute bangers to the channel. And well, today we're going to take a look at my 5 favorite. I decided to try and narrow this down to 5, which was ambitious, for sure. And I still didn't even really do that. Let me explain. Numbers 4 through 1, I have already decided on. I could not decide which knife was going to be number 5. So that's going to be our first matter of business in this video, is I'm going to bring out all the options I thought of as number 5, and we're going to decide together on camera which one gets the spot. So, crack open a drink, get yourself a sandwich. I imagine this is going to be another very long Gideon Stuff episode. I don't drink alcohol. I don't like to drink sugary drinks. I'm even trying to slow down on the energy drinks that have been my, I guess, favorite vice for the last couple of years. So today, we're having an ice cold Sprite Zero Sugar Chiller. This is mango citrus. I've had these sitting in my fridge for a little while at this point. That is a drink, for sure. Okay. Also, you guys like my chair? Moving up in the world. I got a chair for videos now. I'm not just standing by the tailgate of my truck. I've actually had this chair for a very, very long time. Like 2 years, something like that. But here it is, finally making its on-screen debut. Now, before we get super deep into this video, I just want to let you guys know that I strive to make unique content. I really want my channel to be unique and different, its own thing. And as part of that, I try and make content that you guys will find entertaining, enjoyable, informative, and sometimes even content that will keep you on the edge of your seat. So with that in mind, I just want to let you guys know that throughout the duration of this video, you should be experiencing immense anxiety, suspense, even dread. And I'll tell you why. It's because right now, it's April in southern New Mexico, and I'm sitting in the Rio Grande. Now, it's dry right now. It's been dry all winter, bone dry, but any day now, they're going to open the gates up at Elephant Butte, and they're going to release millions and millions of gallons of water that's going to come and fill up this riverbed so that all the towns and farms and dairies and ranches here in the borderlands of New Mexico can have water. So, at any point in this video, you may look behind me and see an 8-foot-tall wave of water about to envelop me. No. The chances of that happening are very, very low. I'm just kidding. But technically, it could happen. It could happen. It probably won't, but it could. The chances that I drown while filming this video and my body gets swept off to Mexico are very, very low. But they are not zero. Let's bust into this bag of... Oh my gosh, I almost pulled my entire chair over. This bag probably weighs about 50 pounds. It's a heavy bag full of lots and lots of steel. Also, a pair of my pants. You might be wondering why. Well, it's because this is also the bag. This is the bag that I take with me for review cutting. And so I'll load this bag up with knives and go out to do my review cutting and stuff. And I'm not always wearing jeans, like today. I'm not wearing jeans, but I like to wear jeans for review cutting, anyways, whatever. Okay, so where do we even start? You know what? Let's start with this knife right here. So, as I already said, Zach has opened my knives. Oh my gosh. Whoo, Sprite. Anyways, Zach has opened my eyes to parts of the knife world, knife making industry, I guess, that I never thought I would see. And most of that has to do with fixed blades. He has greatly expanded my fixed blade horizons. Most of the knives that he has sent are fixed blades. Most, not all. One of the knives that he sent that is not a fixed blade that I really, really fell in love with, a knife that I was not expecting to enjoy this much, is a Kershaw Blur. This one's a Tonto. This knife has got me wanting to go out and buy a drop point Blur because I love this knife so much. This is, in my opinion, one of the greatest folding knife designs of all time. Everything about this knife is smart, planned out, and just so effortlessly functional. This knife, I mean, give this to anyone and you're giving them a good freaking knife. Yeah, it's assisted. You could de-assist it if you want, I suppose. Even if you do that, or the, maybe the assist spring breaks you or something, the rest of the knife is so impressive. Now, this particular version is a special edition. I don't really care about that. The Tonto blade's amazing. Wicked Tonto here. So easy to get to that tip. Very, very thin. This one is in BDZ1 steel. This is my only experience with that steel. Could we not? Anyways, this is just an amazing USA-made folding knife, and this is a knife I've handled the Blur before. I've known people who've owned Blurs, but this was my first time carrying one and using one, and I was just blown away by just how easy it was for me to throw this knife in my pocket every day, no matter what I'm doing that day. This was the right knife for most jobs. I just freaking love it. So, excellent ergos. I've got a full review of this knife that you can go check out. It's a good one. It's a classic, and I had to at least mention it. It's got to be in the running. It's got to be in the running. Okay. Where do we want to go next? You know what? Let's go to this knife next. This is the Exodus Jackalope. This one is in crazy colors, red Cerakote, S35VN, made by White River. Has this really cool Kydex sheath, and actually mine's got all kinds of like dirt and stuff in it, so it's like empty out. There we go. With that, I attached this little leather dangler thing here. Very, very cool knife. This is a knife that at first I thought I would not enjoy because I'm typically not a fan of these steak knife profiles. But after carrying and using this knife, I fell in love. This is an absolutely excellent EDC fixed blade / hiking fixed blade, / work knife. I just really enjoy it. I love the crazy colors. I love crazy colors on my knives. The red Kydex sheath is really, really awesome. Yeah, this is just a really, really dope knife. And I'm a sucker. I'm going to be saying that a lot this video. I'm a sucker for X. I'm a sucker for Y. I'm a sucker for Z. I love knives that surprise me. Again, I was not expecting to love this knife. Ended up falling in love with it. That right there, massive kudos, right? That right there automatically earns my respect. Great knife. Okay, let's get this guy next. Okay, this is a cool one. This is a Dan Peters Full Tang Tactical. And this is not only the most expensive fixed blade I've ever showed on the channel, this is the most expensive knife I've ever showed on the channel. And by extension, this is the most expensive knife I've ever carried, used, and reviewed. And there's a lot about this knife that I respect. There's a lot about this knife that just blows me away. This is from the first batch of knives he ever sent me. I was not expecting something like this. This knife shows a high degree of finesse, a high degree of mastery. It's got very, very interesting grind lines. It's got a, sharpened spine up here. Very, very cool tactical knife from a custom maker. It's incredible. This is a knife from a category that I do not often get to experience. And I haven't showed this knife on the channel in a while, and maybe we'll talk about that, why here in a little bit. But this is absolutely excellent. I love the sheath too. The sheath reminds me a lot of, old school pouch leather sheaths, but it also reminds me of like Civil War holsters that, cavalrymen would have been carrying their, 44 caliber Colt cap and ball revolvers in. I don't know. It just gives me that kind of vibe. Very high quality sheath. I believe this guy was based in El Paso, Texas. The sheath was made in El Paso, Texas, at least, I think, which is, you know, just down the road for me. I'm there quite often, so that's kind of cool. Okay. Moving on. Let's pull out this knife here. This is the TKL Knives Accomplice. And once again, this is a knife that I wasn't sure how to feel about when I first started carrying it, when I first unboxed it. But the more I used it, the more it started to make sense. And at this point, I've absolutely fallen in love with this knife. This is like the epitome of a heavy-duty EDC fixed blade. This knife, I mean, if you're going to be working, I said this a lot. I miss cowboying. I really do. I miss being a cowboy. I haven't done it for a couple of years at this point. I'm not even, you know, it's been a couple of years since I've spent more than a couple of days at my family ranch. And for those of you that may not know, which I bet is few of you watching this video, but I grew up on a small cattle ranch. After I graduated high school, during the summers when I wasn't at college, I was working for another ranch up in the Rockies, a much bigger ranch, and, you know, just kind of caretaking there and doing a lot of work. And I haven't done that in a while. You know, I moved out of my parents' place a long time ago, and I miss it. I do. I really miss it. And this is the kind of knife that I would have loved to carry in those scenarios. This is the kind of knife that I would just love to spend a day on the ranch using this for everything. Because I think it would have handled everything, all the ranch work, effortlessly. Really, really respect this knife. It's a super cool knife. It became a really, really handy little camp knife for me. This would go on a lot of my hiking trips, and this would do a lot of food prep and tasks around camp. I like this knife a lot. And I haven't carried it in a little bit just because I've been reviewing other things, but this knife is so badass. I love that knife. Okay, let's go for something cheaper. The Off-Grid Sidekick. I also have not shown this knife on the channel in a while, but like a year ago? Yeah, geez, it's already April. This knife was going everywhere with me. I absolutely love this knife. This is one of the most comfortable fixed blades, or just one of the most comfortable knives I have ever put in my hand. It feels like it was made for me. I absolutely love this little knife, and I think this is one of the very best budget fixed blades that you can buy. You can get these for like less than 60 bucks. Absolutely amazing knife. 14C28N, G10, Kydex sheath. It's got this thing here that you can swap out if you want. I haven't swapped it out. This knife is so incredible. It is so incredible. And just holding it here makes me want to start carrying it again. Just an excellent, excellent knife. Again, I've got a full review of this knife. Every knife that we have shown so far, I do have full reviews on that you can look up for more information if you're interested. I know this is going to be a long video, but we're going to try and keep it as brief as possible. This right here, the Off-Grid Sidekick. Fantastic, fantastic knife. And you know what? Let's stick with Off-Grid, because the Off-Grid Backcountry. Again, last summer, this was always on my belt. This knife and I were inseparable. I beat the tar out of this knife, and it just kept coming back for more. I absolutely love this knife. They're not too expensive. This has got to be the best D2 I think I've ever used. Yeah, it might be. It might be. I love the ergos. And again, this is a knife that I didn't know exactly what to expect from. And what I ended up with was one of the most badass survival knives I've ever used. Absolutely love this knife. It's very similar to another knife that Zach has sent me, actually, that did make it into the top 4. So we'll talk about that knife here in a little bit, but absolutely love this thing. Also, it has one of Zach's lanyards on it. Several of the knives that Zach has sent me have these little lanyards on there that he tied, and I really like that, and I leave them on to remind me of Zach. And if he sent me a knife that's got a lanyard tied onto it, chances are I'm going to keep that knife for myself. Some of these knives will be given away in the future. Probably not any of the ones that are featured in this video. But I don't know. I just like the little lanyards. She does a good job on those. Okay. I wasn't going to talk about this knife, but it was in this bag because this is one that I'm getting ready to do review cutting for, so we'll mention it just briefly. This is the Cold Steel SRK-C in 3V steel, which is really, really awesome. I have a full size in 3V, and then I have a compact in SK5. Full review of that is out now. Full review of the 3V big boy is coming fairly soon, finally. And then this one, I still have to do review cutting and stuff for, but review's coming up soon. Also has this custom Kydex sheath. And honestly, I love this sheath. Zach sent the regular sheath with it too, but he also, sent this custom sheath, which is actually really, really cool. And it has made carrying this knife very, very unique. And this knife, you guys know how I feel about the SRK. I freaking love the SRK. And this combo here, I like the regular SRK sheath, but it has been cool to carry one in a slightly different sheath. I do like the dangler. This has been a neat experience, but I don't think this one's really in the running because I, have had so many SRKs and stuff in the past that we're just not gonna put that one in the running. But since I had it, I thought I'd mention it. All right, let's go back to some expensive knives. This is a knife that is not my style at all, but I think it's just gorgeous. This is the Half-Face Blades Extremis. I love the way this knife fits in my hand. This is more of a self-defense knife. It's not the greatest EDC fixed blade, but, it'll get stuff done. But I love the carbon fiber on here. It's like carbon fiber I've never seen before. Again, one of Zach's lanyards. This one in purple with black and white, which matches beautifully. I do love the way this blade looks. And so, yeah, even though this isn't really my style of knife, I absolutely love this knife. I'm so glad it's in my collection. It's just a wonderful, wonderful fixed blade. Every time I pull this knife out, it makes me smile. Every time. Okay. Where do we want to go next? Nope. That one's for later. Let's go here. The Very Good Knife Company Hornet. I absolutely love this knife. Full review of this knife is out. You can check out, once again, every single knife we showed has a full review except for the 3V SRK. The SK5 one does have a full review though. This knife has convinced me to buy a Very Good Knife Co. knife at some point. Recently, there's been some knife designs he's released recently where I'm like, oh, I really want to get on that, and I don't have the money for the drops and stuff. But one day I will be buying more Very Good Knife Company knives because this one has impressed me so much. This is one of my favorite small EDC fixed blades of all time, no questions. Now, I did actually leave this knife at a hotel in Artesia accidentally. It fell out of my bag or something, but I was able to get it back, obviously, which is so good because I was devastated when I realized that it was missing, but got it back, which is awesome. Such a good knife. Very, very simple, very basic, but it does everything right. And this is some of the best Nitro V I've ever tested. I have beat the absolute shit out of this knife, and it keeps coming back for more. Just an excellent, excellent knife. And the last one that we'll talk about, you know, for our, I guess, honorable mention slash fighting for 5th place, might be a controversial one. Might be one that you guys aren't expecting to see. The Bark River Gunny Sidekick. I do love this knife. When I unboxed this knife, when I reviewed this knife, I said that it was one of the most beautiful knives I have ever seen. One of the most beautiful knives in my collection. Zach actually sent me a message saying, please tell me you're going to keep that one. And I said, yes, absolutely. And that's not changing. I do love this knife. I do think this is a beautiful knife. This one is very well made. And, you know, there's all kinds of drama with Bark River right now. But this knife right here is a gem. It is a gem. And for me, at least, this knife will always be special because it was sent to me by Zach. Because it's of a... I just love the design of this knife. I love the way this knife looks. I love the way this knife feels in hand. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the sheath. But this is an excellent, excellent knife. Is it the correct steel? I don't know. I didn't spend money on this knife, so for me, I guess it doesn't really matter that much. But this is a beautiful, beautiful knife, and I am glad to have it in my collection for what it's worth. Okay, with all that out of the way, which of these knives that I just went over is going to be our number 5 knife? I thought I'd make up my mind as I was talking you guys through it. But I'm still a little bit conflicted. So let's start to narrow this down. Right away, we are going to take the Bark River out of the competition. And it has nothing to do with the whole Bark River scandal. It just has to do simply with the fact that, you know, this is more of a hunting knife, and I haven't had a hunt in a while. Might change that here pretty soon. This isn't really the style that I carry and use regularly. So, even though it's a beautiful knife and I love it, it's not really a knife that I carry very often, and it's not even a knife that I would carry very often. Even if I wasn't a knife reviewer and had other things to carry, I wouldn't carry this one very often. Just because it's not really an EDC knife, it's not really a camp knife, it's not really a survival knife. So, you know, we're going to take this one out of the running. And, of course, we're taking the SRK out of the running, but we already talked about that. And for similar reasons, I'm also going to take the Extremis out. I love this knife. This knife is beautiful. But it's not a great EDC knife. It's fine. It works. But I'm more of an EDC guy when it comes to fixed blades of this size. I'm not really a self-defense guy. So, as much as I love this knife, as much as I think it looks cool as hell, and I love the ergos, and the build quality is outstanding, this one is going to be out of the running. Okay. You know what? The next one we're going to take out of the running might surprise you guys. But it's actually going to be the Dan Peters. Because, again, this isn't really my style. You know, it's got that sharpened, you know, partial spine there. This is more of a fighting knife. And a knife this big, I want to use it as a survival knife. This one's, you know, a little bit thin for batoning and stuff. You don't want to be smacking on that sharpened edge. And I had a lot of fun carrying and using this knife. But, again, this isn't a knife that particularly suits my style. Amazing knife. I can't believe I'm holding it right now. This is a wonderful, wonderful knife that I'm so glad that I have the opportunity to experience. But it's not going to go in the top 5 because it's not really me. Okay. Oh, now things are tough. You know what? We're going to take the Kershaw Blur out. Awesome knife. I respect the hell out of it. So glad I've gotten the chance to use it but I don't think it stacks up to some of these other knives. So we're going to take the Kershaw Blur out. Okay. Okay. Man, this is a tough choice. I think the next knife that's going to go out... Yeah, the next knife... Alright, I had to think about this one really, really hard. The next knife we're taking out is a Jackalope. I love so much about this knife. It's a great knife. I love the crazy vibes. I love the name Jackalope. I didn't mention that earlier. But when it comes to EDC fixed blades, I do think the Hornet is better. So I'm going to take this out. Oh man, this is tough. This is tough. We're going to take the Sidekick out. No. Yeah, Sidekick's gonna... Sidekick's gonna go. Next one that's gonna go is gonna be the Accomplice. Man, this is so freaking tough. This is so tough. Okay, next one's gonna go. We're not even gonna explain why. It's just, I'm sitting here and I know which one has got to go in the number 5 spot. And so these other knives are so excellent. You could consider all of these. I mean, the last 3 or 4 knives, 3, 4, 5 knives could all be tied at fifth place. But the next one we're gonna get rid of is the Hornet. Gosh! I love this knife. But Hornet going away. And that leaves us with the official number 5 spot, the Backcountry. And I had to give it to this knife just because this knife has been through a lot with me. And that's not saying that the other knives haven't, but this knife, when I look at this knife, I just think adventure. I'm transported back to all the cool places I've been with this knife. You know, the Quebradas, the bad country of Utah. I've been so many places with this knife. This knife has served me so freaking well. And I do miss carrying this knife. I haven't carried this knife in a while because I've been reviewing other knives, but this one's got to get the number 5 spot. And man, that was so freaking tough. But okay, let's move on to numbers 4 through 1, the knives that I kind of already planned out, the knives that I knew were going to be making an appearance on this video. I'm kind of curious to see what Zach thinks about this. Curious to see what you guys think about this. Maybe, I think maybe Zach can predict what my top 4 are going to be. You guys might be able to as well. I think you guys all know my style, my vibe pretty well. If you guys have been following along with my content, you might know which ones are coming up, which ones have been carried a lot. Number 4, the knife that reminds me in a lot of ways of the Backcountry, and a knife that I've been glued to for quite some time. The Lion Steel M5. This is a knife that kind of came out of the blue. This is a knife that I've absolutely fallen in love with. This sheath is made by Armistice, also sent in by Zach. The original sheath that this knife came with was okay, but this has been a game changer. This knife basically lives on my gun belt 24/7. This knife goes all over the place with me. This has been my favorite adventuring knife for the past several months. This has been my favorite go-to large fixed blade for camping, backpacking, hiking, things like that. I absolutely freaking love it. We've been beating the crap out of it. Now, this knife does not have a full review yet, but I am done with the review. So you should be seeing the review fairly soon. Absolutely love this knife. And this knife has become just kind of a no-brainer. for adventuring. You know, I've got four, I guess we'll call it 4 go-to fixed blades for hiking, backpacking, stuff like that. This is one of them. This is one of them. One of my SRKs is one of them. And then my Demco Free Rein is one of them, which I haven't carried my Free Rein in forever, actually, because I've been reviewing so many other awesome fixed blades. I do want to get a Magna Cut Free. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Stay on topic, Gideon. This knife here impresses me in a lot of ways. I love the way this knife feels in my hand. I love the size. This 3V steel has held up okay. I won't say this is the very best 3V I've ever used, but it's been doing very, very well. And, you know, this knife has a crown spine, which at first I was like, oh, you know, that's not going to make it good for striking a ferro rod. But that's not the end-all be-all. I actually love the crown spine. I think it has its own advantages. Again, stay tuned for the full review. And a lot of times, I'm not using a ferro rod to build my campfires anyways, guys. Spoiler, I use matches or lighters. Having the ferro rod is nice, though, in case I get into a, kind of shit hits the fan situation where maybe I'm not able to use my matches or my lighter for whatever reason. Again, getting sidetracked. This is an amazing knife. And, yeah, this knife is absolutely number 4. And all the other knives that you're going to see have not been reviewed yet, but reviews are come. Actually, one of them has been reviewed. You guys have seen the review already. And when I was putting this list together, I was thinking, is this recency bias? But I don't think it is. I've sat and thought about this for a while. All right, let's go on to knife number 3. This is the Work Tough Night Hunter. And this is an incredible knife. And this knife has been, I don't know if you guys could tell, but we've got scratches and nicks all over this blade. I have not been kind to this knife. We've got some rolls and chipping, which we'll be, sharpening out here pretty soon. Full review coming eventually. This is just an awesome, awesome knife. And, where do you even go with this? This is one of those knives that, is this something that I'm going to carry and use all the time? No, absolutely not. Although, fun fact, I have actually taken this with me on quite a few adventures strapped to my back. Why? Because I can. Because I wanted to. Is it the most practical thing ever? No. At this point, if you're going to be carrying something like this, you might as well, choose. Do you want a machete or a hatchet? Very fun knife, though. And this is a knife that I've been obsessed with Work Tough for a long time. And I never thought I'd own one. And here one is. And this knife is just incredible. And it's so much fun. And this is the kind of knife that it's so much fun. Oh my gosh, I'm blinding myself. It's so much fun that it breaks. It doesn't matter that this is not utilitarian at this point. This knife is just so badass that it gets a pass, right? The audacity of this knife alone is enough to put it way up high on this list. But also, it's technically a Bowie. I love Bowie knives. In fact, I want to, this Christmas, I want to make a video, or around Christmas time, I want to make a video going over my Bowie knife collection. And in order to do that, there's a couple of awesome Bowie knives that I feel like I'm missing in my collection that I'm going to try to get this year. So that's my goal this year, is to collect more Bowie knives. How am I doing? Well, it's April and I haven't bought any knives, but we're getting there. Yeah, this thing is just awesome. This thing's awesome. Hell of a chopper. Designed by Wheels Custom Knives. Cool guy. Absolutely insane stuff going on in that noggin of his. And yeah, this knife is That's freaking awesome. You know, this is awesome-tacular. This knife, again, it gets on this list purely because it's just so audacious. I love it. I love it. All right. On to the top 2. Knife number 2 is the one that I have already reviewed. You guys probably see this coming. I'm carrying it right now. This is the White River Knives Ursus Cub. And this is far and away my favorite EDC fixed blade of all time. And this is a fixed blade that kind of walks that line between EDC fixed blade and what I would call work knife, which is like EDC plus. Maybe not an abusive use knife, but a heavy duty use knife. Once again, this is a knife that I would love to have had when I was cowboying. I think this would have been just an excellent, excellent ranch knife. When I went home to visit my family for the holidays, I was only there for a couple of days, but with this knife, I was out feeding the cows. I cut down a Christmas tree with this knife. My sister took a little tiny tree, a little spruce, back to her place, and I cut it down with this, which was fun. I think I made a video about that. I love this knife so much. MagnaCut steel. I love these Mexican blanket scales. Feels so good in my hand. Just excellent, excellent feel. Great contouring. Very classic, you know, maybe boring, but extremely versatile drop point blade. The MagnaCut has held up beautifully. This has been one of my favorite steels to work with. White River's doing an amazing job with their MagnaCut. This knife really made me fall in love with MagnaCut more than any other knife. It's just, it's basically perfect. It is basically perfect. And Zach actually sent me a link for some aftermarket scales that cover up the lanyard hole and stuff. And I was going to buy them. They're really cool. They're blue. But honestly, I like the look of the Mexican blanket scales more. And I don't mind the lanyard hole. And this knife already just feels so good in my hand. So why bother changing it? This knife here, I do not see this knife being overthrown anytime soon. I think this will be my favorite EDC fixed blade for the foreseeable future. This knife is incredible. Absolutely incredible. I cannot say enough good things about this knife. Go check out the review. Go check out all the other videos I made about that knife. There are even more videos coming about that knife very soon. And finally, at long last, here we are. Number 1. What is my favorite knife that Zach has ever sent me? It's probably pretty apparent, guys. You probably already know what it is. Review of this knife coming very, very soon. It's not a fixed blade, surprisingly. It's a folder. It's the Hinderer Jurassic. This knife means so much. I made a random throwaway video talking about my Grail knives. I mentioned this knife, and Zach sent me one. I cannot even begin to comprehend how awesome that is. It's a kind of gift. It's the kind of thing that just means more than words can say, really. And I'm happy to say that this knife has been everything I was hoping for it to be. This is an excellent knife. And once again, this is a knife that I wish I had when I was a hard use guy, right? I definitely do not use my knives, my folding knives, as hard as I used to. My fixed blades still get used pretty freaking hard out on my camping trips and adventures and things like that. But this knife is incredible. I love the ergos. The blade cuts very, very well. You know, the geometry's done very well for a big, robust knife. This has not been babied. This knife has been used quite extensively. I love this knife. Not just because of the design, not just because of how it performs. Those are things in and of themselves that would make me love this knife. But I more so love this knife for what it represents. And, you know, there are some acts of kindness that are too... I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Months later, guys, I'm still at a loss for words. I can't believe I have one of these. And it's thanks to Zach. And Zach, you know, this video is for your birthday. And I hope that me making these videos brings you the kind of joy that you have brought to me with gifts like this. The other thing, too, is when he sent me this knife, he sent me a 3D printed plaque of Jurassic Park 3. And I would highly recommend you guys watch the unboxing video for this knife. I'll link it at the end of this video in the cards. Guys, it was just so cool. It was just such an awesome experience. And I always feel... I'm just blessed. I'm just blessed, to be completely honest with you guys. I don't know what I did to deserve stuff like this, but Zach, you're freaking incredible. And I just realized there are 2 knives that should have made this list, but I left them at home. 2 knives I've been carrying a lot recently. The Benchmade Presidios Mini and full size. Those are awesome freaking knives. They would not have... Actually? Yeah, no, they still would not have made the top 5. Oh, maybe they could have. I don't know. I haven't had them for that long, but they're really, really freaking awesome, and I am really, really loving those knives. I cannot believe I forgot to bring them for this video. Actually, I do have the Mini Presidio in my truck. Anyways, we're getting sidetracked. Ooh, the Presidios. Should have been mentioned in this video. Would they have beaten out the Backcountry? Oh, it would have been close. No, they wouldn't have, but they did deserve a mention. Anyways, this has been a long video. Happy birthday, Zach. I hope you enjoyed this video. Guys, if you see Zach in the comments below, which I guarantee you will, wish him a happy birthday and thank him for everything he's done for the channel. And speaking of people who have done a lot for the channel, big shout out to my channel members at the Cowboy level, including Zach. I really appreciate everything they do for the channel. If you want to become a member and support me directly, there's a link down below. As for the rest of you hooligans, if you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, comment below, and subscribe. I've been Gideon, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.